and a little early, but as always, this is the Bear Thoughts podcast. We do this usually every Friday at 5 o'clock Central Standard Time. For those who want to catch us live, be sure to do so. I am the Grumpy of Bears. As always, we have the Corvo Ninja and disembodied self-death Jade. I've been sick for over a month. Well, just around a month, technically, because I'm still sick. I have, or I had COVID, got an infection, and then had to take medicine that also infected me. This is why I hate medicine. I really don't like medicine.
Listen, if you don't take a lot of meds, that shit can fuck with you. If you take a lot of meds, it can fuck with you. You gotta find that fine balance, you know?
Rix has correctly joined the channel.
For it to work, but
yeah,
I'm glad you're feeling a little better anyway.
I love when you go to, like, you know, you have symptoms before, right? You have symptoms and you know your symptoms are, and you go take some medicine and you're thinking, okay, the medicine is supposed to make you feel better, but then you go read the symptoms of the medicine and you're going, you know what? I would rather be sick. That's how I felt with some of this medicine.
Go read the side effects, yeah.
Yeah, like I just, like, you know, let me just be sick. I'm cool with it. I'm cool. Cause I don't like feeling like that either. And that's how I literally felt like I was drugged, and I never, like, I felt like once or twice like that in my life. Don't like feeling. I'm not. That's not my kind of. I like this feeling. I don't like it at all. And that's how I felt. But yeah, we are back tonight. We are replacing D&D, so if you're ready for that, be there. But sorry, this class clown won't have the full, like, giddy up and go like he usually does. But it also might not be helping that we're supposed to have, like, a major storms coming in within, like, rain and, you know.
Yeah.
Rain.
So I don't know if I told you this, but the guy that is my manager now, is a part of a big storm group. Has a whole website and everything, and he's already sent me the stuff. He's like, starting tonight, it's gonna be rough, and it may continue through tomorrow night.
Yeah, supposed to be happening at least for two to 3 days, and I'm like, oh. We just had like 2 poles literally down the street, 2 poles just from the top just snapped, and we were out for power for 12 hours, and all of it, like, a lot of our refrigerator goods went bad. I'm like, not the time. We could really use not losing power. Like, I was going down the street with my wife and going, yeah, that pole's next. That pole's probably next, because, like, you see the poles and, like, they're super, super gray. I mean, like, look like they're just fart sneeze and they're broken. I'm like, they should just might as well replace those right now, because, like, they're already here. All right, just bring the poles here. Just go and just swap them out. We're good, right? Just how about we don't have a power outage every time it rains in my neighborhood? I would appreciate it. It's always our street too, because, like, when we were out of power, the street behind us and the street before us were both. I saw lights on their street. I'm like, that's about right. Yeah. That's great. I love it. Smile.
Fantastic, huh? Makes you feel great. You're special. You don't understand. That's the love that the storm gods are shining on you. So much love that they're trying to tell you you don't need all of that stuff that you say you do.
I'm telling you, if somebody ever comes and says, hey, we'll give you what for money and then a little bit more for your house, we'll buy it for you, we'll take it. Just make sure it's above the actual price that we have to pay for the house. You can pay for it and then give us a little bit more, and then we'll go and buy a house in another state. We already know which state we're going to be, probably moving to, and then we'll just take that house, and we'll be happy.
Would I have any inclination of what this state would be? I mean,
well, as long as I see mountains, I'm happy. That's what I tell my wife. As long as I see mountains, not like she's like, I want to see mountains. I want to be able to, like, go to the mountains at some point.
It's called Blue Ridge. It's about 4 hours north of me.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want mountains. Oh, okay. So I actually got one good one for you. We can talk about it later on. My wife actually asked me this question.
It's a loving one. Loving one asked this question. Why are you gonna put me on the spot like that, dude?
Well, let me Okay, just remember the question, and we'll jump into the topic a little later on. But the question was,
Okay.
if you had to go through something truly dramatic, like losing a severe loved one or something truly terrible, but in doing so, an ancestry of power awaken in you, would you be okay with it? An ancestry power, like a power that your family, your forebears had, you never knew about, to something really bad happen. Would you be okay with it? And what would you like it to be? But yeah, we can talk about it a little later on. So just remember that.
Okay.
Okay, so let's just jump into yours, because I guess you were talking to maybe some of your people at your normal lunch break.
Yeah. We were sitting around the break table, and we were talking and bullshitting, and a lot of the guys that I hang out with are kind of like me and you as far as being into anime and video games and fictional movies and mangas and stuff like that. Yeah, and one of the questions that come up was, what fictional character in your life, what fictional character's death most impacted you out of all the video games, mangas, animes, comics, out of all of the fictional stuff you've seen? You can include movies and television series. Which death impacted you the most?
So, I know a lot of people will probably be thinking, because I know you're playing right now Final Fantasy VII, and for a lot of people, that is a big jump off point, because that was their first, right? It's always when you're a kid, you don't very much see, especially any content, that it has to do with death. Death is almost a foreign entity to kids when we were younger. But for me, this death, though it did not make me cry the hardest, it made me wake up to the only to the idea of death, but also what this really impacted for me as a person who made me who I am today. And that is Krillin's death in Dragon Ball Z. Krillin's death was the first time I went, wait, people can die in TV shows? And this is a cartoon that my parents was going, it's just a cartoon. I went, no, this is not. This is something way more, way bigger. And I realized that why I liked anime so much, not because it's death, because they really touch topics and subject matters that, whether or not you're okay with it or not, this is real, right? This was my first wake up, death is a thing, and how much it can affect you as an emotion. And when I was a kid, I knew of death, I've heard of death, but I didn't know it could affect you in such a way when you thought of losing someone. And then, the most iconic scene in all anime, Goku going Super Saiyan, was also the biggest hype for me right afterwards. It was a roller coaster of emotion, because Krillin was literally, even though he was not a real character, I knew this character for years. Literal years. And I just watched Frieza.
Are we talking about his first death?
His first death, I didn't watch Dragon Ball until after I watched Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
I watched Dragon Ball Z first. Then I went back to watch Dragon Ball. I didn't know Krillin died in the original, and why Goku was so upset, because, well, once you're brought back, that's it. You only get one time, right? That's what. But then,
right.
later on, they're like, yeah, let's
just got lucky. He got lucky because the Namekian Dragon Balls were different Dragon Balls. That's what saved his ass, because if they'd have been on Earth, he'd have been fucked.
Yeah, and also the fact that the Namekian Dragon Balls, you could do as many times you wanted. So, that rule of, oh, you could do it more than once, just went right out the window. Because the original, you only get one from the other Dragon Ball, because they made that one really, weak, I guess. But in my mind, that was it. Krillin was gone forever. There was no more oh, come back. It's okay. No, it was just like, no, he is dead. And, you know, the effect that he had on Goku, which was normally such a delightful, happy person, went from that to a enraged, now to the Legend of Super Saiyan. And also, it's like, you know, because normal cartoons, they don't really get into that, right? Like, that's a very rare thing. That's why I kind of like I liked Avatar, because they wouldn't see it go back on that category either. But like Final Fantasy VII, that was a lot of people's first, you know, real touch on that character's death in that game. I'm forgetting her name here.
Eris.
Yeah, Eris.
Eris.
Like that was like, when people played that game, everybody had that scene on their mind. Everybody thought of that. And that's where I thought maybe you came from, because you find him, you know.
No, that was it is a strong one for me, but that's not it. But Stealthy just weighed in.
That's the
Old Yeller.
Oh, Yeller. Oh, and the movies. You know, I didn't see that until I was way older, and I guess it just didn't have the same punch for me as it would have been if I was like watching when it first came out.
I was 9.
She was 9 when she seen someone put that dog down.
Oof. For my wife, I already know what hers would be. The Fox and the Hound.
Oh yeah, that was that's a pretty bad one too.
She will not.
Ooh, Tarzan.
Yeah.
Tarzan? Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It had 2 of them.
So the other one.
It had the parrot.
The other one.
And it had Kerchak.
Yeah, the gorilla. The other one I was gonna say, and just because like this one did it where I cried the hardest, and all my memories of like fictional characters. I just want to describe some people like what. And you've seen what's that name? Fairy Tales, the anime Fairy Tales.
Yes.
Okay. You know the old Grandmaster?
Yeah.
That dude, he died, and I bawled crying when he died. But promise, they didn't do it once in that TV show. They brought him back. He did it twice, and he died again, and he died a third time. I'm like, okay, you got me once, you got me twice. I'm sorry, like I'm not. Like, they were like the master of emotional manipulation. Like, this master done died 3 times. Right. I'm good.
So for me, my fictional character wasn't an anime, wasn't a cartoon, it wasn't a video game. It came from a television series that I grew up watching. Understand, this is something I watched every day with my dad before he passed away, and I continued to watch it afterwards, okay?
Uh-huh.
But Jasmine's going to tell me to go fuck myself in a minute.
Babe.
Oh, sorry. But I'm out of practice. But I was watching a Star Trek movie.
Okay.
Nemesis.
Oh,
Nemesis. A loving android who spends his entire career all the way through all the Next Generation series, through all the movies that have the Next Generation characters, died. He sacrifices himself to save the captain. And yes, I am talking about Data. They killed him. I paused the movie and had to walk out of the damn room. I was like, this is bullshit. Like, I was a little upset when they killed Tasha Yar in like season 2 or 3. But they had this man, you go on a whole journey with him of being an android who wants to have emotions. He spends all of his entire series, trying to get more human emotions, right? To be more like a human. And in the movie, the Borg Queen literally offers this shit to him. Like, I can do this for you. I can make you more human. Just help me win the day, right? She even went as far as giving him a taste by patchworking some human skin on his android face to let him, so he could do this and feel what it would feel like to be a human. And it's still, through all of that, his dream was within his grasp. He sacrificed himself still to save the captain. Because he's like, nah, I'm not about that life. I'm not the bad guy. And when that shit happened, I literally got up and walked away.
The gray android? Big, tall, linky gray android? Or am I thinking of someone else?
There's that Data, and then there's his twin. Lore.
Lore. Yeah, hang on.
I saw an image the other day, and I saw
Lore.
They were in a desert. There was a short guy and one big, tall, linky android, gray, all gray. I'm like, that looks familiar. Who is that? I can't remember that android at all. For some reason, I'm going. And then you bring this up. I'm like, is that the android I remembered? Because I don't remember him looking like that.
There you go.
That's Data.
Oh, yes, that Data.
And he was big into the whole Sherlock Holmes thing. They did multiple episodes where he would be stuck in the that room, you know, the holodeck. He'd get stuck in the holodeck in a Sherlock Holmes mystery, and he would have to play out being Sherlock Holmes to solve the mystery to get out. And he had a relationship with Tasha Yar before they killed her ass off. I mean, like, you progressively watch him go from very android to very human. Much more humanistic. He had more human reactions and emotions, and then to know that he gave up all that he's been searching for his entire life to save the captain, I was like, nah, that's bullshit. I'm leaving. Fuck y'all. I'd rather the damn captain die. Fuck this shit. Fuck you, motherfuckers. You know?
It's almost like to say that, yeah, no matter what he could do, he could not escape his natural,
his fate.
You know, his fate, nor his programming. Like, it's like that was almost embedded to him as if it was his own soul, because like he had to protect his captain. He had to.
Oh no, he could have.
In fairness,
He could choose not to. He had done it before when somebody did something that he didn't deem, right?
Yeah.
He didn't have to protect you. He chose to do that because the thing that.
That's what made him the most. Though.
You
have to admit it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing that got me was she went through all of that to try to convince him that she could make him more human. And I think in the end, the reason he chose to sacrifice himself for the captain is because he realized he was already as human as a human could be, because he loved these people he worked with and he would die for them.
Yeah, I can totally see that. And it's so... See, that kind of show right there was meant for a little bit more of the young adults to, my dad was watching when I was a kid, so he was in his 30s or so right now at that time, so it was definitely that generation where that was not uncommon.
I was watching that shit when I was younger than Ethan.
And it was almost bound to happen. So yeah, I can totally see that kind of shows doing that. But as a young adult growing up with that show, it's almost like a good lesson. I don't know how to say it. It sucks when your characters die, but you need to wake up and remember like that. Hey, this is.
Keep saying our names.
I didn't say it.
Did
I say it?
Oh.
My brain.
No, I said it.
Oh yeah, like it's almost a good lesson that we gotta wake up and be reminded. It's like, yeah, it is literally today you could go, and that is you know, you don't want to live in life in fear or in fright or in worry every waking moment, but you kind of have to realize that it is just that easy. It's not a hard thing to do.
Right.
What?
Purple. She was pulling on a banner.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, did you play the last Kitchen Impact event, the trial or the Inazuma Festival theme?
I did not.
Your girl was in it. Your favorite I would say God. She was very much involved in it, and it got more into the story of, since you didn't get to play it, I'll go ahead and tell you. You know her old friend with the horns, right? That passed away.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at one time there was this thing of like nightmares that were making people saying it's a forever nightmare of dreams, and it made you think that everybody that was around you, even if you were awake, you were still in a nightmare. That were like, they were enemies. They were all trying to kill you and all trying to kill your family, so you would unrationally attack everybody. And this is one of the things that happened to that girl with the horns. And apparently it's like these Tanukis found the horns and it affected them for 500 years. So we kind of find out more about their friend that had a curse on them. And the Raiden Shogun finally got to let go because she was finally able to put her friend totally at rest, because that horde was still going on and she had the curse on it. To the traveler showed up, of course, right? So you get to figure out more stuff about that and more about the Shogun and, you know, why she killed her best friend, and how it was still weighing on her to this very day. I'm like, oh man, Corvo's gonna love this. And you missed it, but it's actually very sweet, very sentimental. How that, even that horn was there. They finally got to destroy the horn, so to put her actually fully at rest, because that horn was still a part of her soul, I guess. He was actually really nice. Damn it. You can probably watch a YouTube video on it.
Probably.
No, not yesterday. This morning, which I gotta remember. Stealthy, I sent you 3 codes. I just don't know if there was only 3. Like I said in the message. It's only 3. We gotta make sure we put those codes in before it gets too late tonight, because you know how Gitchin is. They'll be like, yeah, you can't use them anymore because they're only good for like 24 hours or something like that. I don't really see why they do that, but that's what they do. New patch coming out, new character, new thickness. Have you seen a new character that's been spoiled? Not really spoiled, the little bull girl.
I have not been in any Genshin news lately. I've been completely out of it.
Even when I'm sick, you know, I can. I would sometimes, even if I was sick, I would still get up, do my dailies, and get right off. Yeah, but new girl coming out. She has bull horns, bull ears. She's really cute. You know, Gitchin out that they do that with cute characters. And finally, the girl with the dark skin with a cubone skull inside of her head. She's become an actual attainable character finally, because they've been, you know, teasing her since like 4 or 5 patches ago. Okay, so let's just jump into the next one. You already remember the question. And again, for those who do not remember, if you would have to go through a very tragic, very emotional, losing a loss when something truly, truly tragic, but in doing so would awaken an ancient power within you, or power which your predecessors had passed down to you through your blood, would you be able to deal with it? And I'm gonna get your answers first.
Okay. So here's the question, because I need more information. Okay. You're saying, could I deal with it? The question is, by saying it that way, is it something I can control or something I cannot control?
At first, no control. At first, no control. You have to learn to control.
No control of the event that happened.
No control.
Okay, so I'm telling you,
no control over anything. at the start.
Okay, it just happens, and there's nothing I can do about it. I'm gonna tell you right now. Probably the first month or so, nobody wants to live in an area around me because I'm going scorched earth.
Yeah.
I will be a villain before I'm a hero, if you understand what I'm saying, because I don't take events like that very well. Stealthy could contest that I would eventually come to my senses. I would eventually do the right thing. But for a while, I am going to be the worst person you have ever met. And hopefully, whatever this special ancient ability that I inherited, it's not deadly. Because if so, there's probably a lot of motherfuckers die before I get it right.
Well, for me, it's just like this ability's better make sure I can't harm myself, right? Because if I can harm myself, that's not going to be very good for me. Because like I'm not very much a good person when it comes to bad thoughts, and I you know, we all had it one time in our life. But at the same time, if I have no control of myself, because like my wife's like, well, werewolf. Like, I guess I'll just have to run in the middle of the woods, out in the middle of like nowhere, right? Out in the boons where there's no moons, and just leave me there for a while so I can control whatever this ancient power is. Because I'm gonna need to forget whatever that traumatic problem is. But I think I could. But then my question to my wife was like, would I have to remember every single time I want to have access to this power or whatever? Would I have to remember it every single time to get it to go? I don't think I could handle that. That right there would just be a constant, because like, you know, Super Saiyans, like, I don't know if people know about this, Super Saiyans have to remember the most angriest point of their life in order to access the power. And Goku's just good at it. Goku's just like, I can remember that easy. Bam, Super Saiyan. And then they get angrier too. The more they unleash, the more their rage comes to the forefront, and rage and cockiness. And that's how their powers really activate. So my mind is, would I have to do the same? Would I have to remember that tragic moment in my mind, replay it, for it to, boop, here I am, superpowers, and go off and fight whatever I need to fight? Because if it's you, right, if you have to remember it every single time, you're gonna be fighting with rage. In your
yeah, every time I go to activate to save someone, I'm gonna end up killing someone. Is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, I'm Mr. Friendly, don't worry. No, I'm Mr. Hulk, and I might not be gentle with the people that are, you know, maybe not warranted the ferocity from which I'm coming at them.
Right. I mean, and you can take that viewpoint and look at some of like the animes and stuff we watch. There's a lot of times where you see these tragic things happen to these characters before they get their abilities or they learn their skills or whatever. And I'm sitting there watching it going, you guys are much better people than me. You are handling this much better than I would, because you guys are going through a little spell of crying and mourning, and then I must do the right thing. Bitch, let me tell you something. You don't want that to be me, because the first thing I'm going to think is, who caused this?
Said.
And
hello,
how
son.
many bitches do I got to kill to get to them? You know, it's just, I am not instantly, let me save the world. I'm going to assassinate some fucking body. Somebody caused this shit, you know?
All right, let me catch the people that are in the chat one more time. The question that we're having here, because it was a question my wife brought up, and it just kind of something that came to her mind. If you would go to the most tragic moments in your life, loss of a loved one, yeah, I know, loss of a loved one, loss of something tragic, truly tragic, but in doing so, it would awaken an ancient power, ancient ability, or ancient bloodline in you. Would you be able to handle it? And of course, you would not have control over what happened. You would not be able to choose what happened, nor would you be able to control the power from which you would awaken to at that said time. Would you be able to deal with it? Would you be okay with it? And every time you would access it, you would have to remember that tragic scene. Or anytime you think about it and you access it on accident, well, that's gonna pop into your head like, you know, a full moon. No, just remembering it's enough to get you going. What'd you be able to do with it? And that's where we're going here. And my wife brought this up again. We were just driving home just yesterday, and I don't know what brought it up. Really, I don't. And she just brought it up, and in my brain, of course, I'm just sitting there going, okay, because we always do that. We always do like that kind of like what ifs in our minds. My wife always had to. That's kind of a conversation piece we bring up in our drives or in our time together. You know, we like to bring up topic pieces of what ifs and whatnot. Lotus. My dog is literally trying to get into my Care Bear bath, which is this big old thing. He's trying to get in it. It's not a bad boy. I don't think it's a bad. It's pretty big though. This is my wife, by the way. She bought that for me because she knows I like Care Bears, but also she knows I've been going through hard times lately. So, what would you want it to be though? Like, you know, she knows from me, like if you have to choose like ancestor kind of like ability, I would be like, okay, werewolf. I don't know. I just have a thing for werewolves, and I think they're kind of cool. But that's like the only kind of like ancestors kind of powers I can actually think of that have been shown in fiction media that is really, I don't know why, plausible. Not really plausible, but it just feels like it in our world.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of mutations. There's a lot of genes. There's a lot of different things that can be passed down. Like, let's say, for instance, I mean, they've done this before in a show. I can't remember what it was, but there was a latent gene in somebody that was actually tied to vampirism, right? But it wasn't active in that person. Yeah. It wasn't active in them, but something happened in their life and it activated, right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, I would be such a fucking anti-hero because I would go after whoever caused it, and I'd kill everybody between me and him, which means there's going to be a lot of bad motherfuckers dying, but I'm not the hero that goes, oh, I'll beat you up and turn you into the police. No. At that point, I am beyond turning you into the police. I'm going to erase you from existence, you know, if you put me through something like that. So I am not. I tell people all the time, they're like, what superhero would you be? I said, none of them. I can't be a superhero. I would have to be an anti-hero. I could not be a superhero. They're like, well, you can't. They're like, you can't be. He's an anti-hero, technically. Mm. A hero that kills is an anti-hero.
Yeah.
So yeah, I couldn't be a hero. I'd have to be an anti-hero. Like, I'd have to be a Deadpool, a Venom, somebody like that. I could not be a hero. They're like, you mean you couldn't be Superman? I was like, did you read the issue where Superman lost his mind?
Yeah.
Sure, give me that amount of power. Do that. That's the thing to do.
Yeah, my wife brought up a funny thought. She said she had to be a vampire. She had to be a vegetarian because of all the STDs going around nowadays.
Said, I'm going villain all the way.
I'm pretty sure their immune system's built for that.
Like, I need to make sure, like, wait. Before I bite you, I need to decide to reform, say that you have nothing in you that might affect me. You have STDs, you know. Okay, good. But yeah, Punisher, Deadpool, I can totally see that. I think, you know, too many nowadays, people are looking for retribution and too much kindness is going on nowadays, and some people just need some actions be taken. But then sometimes some people are just too cruel, and it's such a broad span of things. They're going to see someone die than someone just be punished. And I guess it's just we're in a mindset of like, you know, we've done enough punishing. We need some people just to really just go. We need to. I'm not advocating.
Well, I mean, I hate to say it, but here a perfect example of that is look at John Wick. Look at John Wick.
Yeah.
That motherfucker killed everybody that had anything. You know, like that would, and then you're going to tell me you're going to put me in that frame of mind and give me an ability? Oh, dude, hell no. Pencils will be the least of your worries, you know? Like,
I'm like, I got bitch.
I am coming down for your ass. Speaking of that, I can't wait for Ballerina to come out. I'm ready.
Oh, by the way, have you seen the new trailers for the Ragnarok third season?
I have not. I wanted to see it, but I have not seen it.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I saw the little poster, whatever promotion for it, and season 3. I'm like, oh god, I'm sure Corvin's are bringing that up.
You goddamn right. I'm right. I know that it was coming. I just have not seen the trailer for it. But dude, I love that. I love that anime. I do. I still think one of my favorite fights in that thing was the Jack the Ripper and Hercules fight.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. I loved it. I loved it. Also, are you ready for September? Demon Slayer.
Oh,
Demon Slayer.
I saw they're gonna be dropping it in Japan in like July, and we're gonna get it in America in September. I'm like, come on, just drop at the same time. Can you not just to do it to take the same time? Why like Crunchyroll, like it's the sub comes out and like a few days later the dub comes out. That's what I want. Why have to wait all the way to September? But yes, I am ready for that. Of course, I'm also ready because like it was supposed to release. Oh, I just got home, so that's why it's like bright as shit. It was supposed to release Overlord season 4 or 5 last year. So I'm now going, they better release it this year because I was waiting for that a long time. Of course.
Well, I'm ready because the word on the street is we get to see Zenitsu go full ham in this motherfucker. Like,
yeah,
all out,
like
buck wild.
I might actually like him.
Yeah, when he's not asleep. But see, the thing is when I watched the last season, I had a feeling something was coming with him when his ass chose not to leave and go with them after he got that note, and his ass went straight-faced and serious. I'm like, ooh, something major has happened.
Yeah, and I would guess it, but at the same time, I don't want to spoil it. But I'm pretty good at guessing anime, and I'm pretty sure it's a loved one, and I'm pretty sure I know which loved one it is. Like, there's, come on, it's the only person I can see him getting mad for. It's the only person I can see him getting mad for. Like, he likes women, he likes girls. Yeah, that's a ha 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 joke, but there's only one person I can see him get mad for, and
yeah.
And if it's all a movie, like the entire thing, like I've heard it's supposed to be just a solid, just straight up movie, it's gonna be a long one. Oh, also, apparently end of the season, end of Solo Leveling is supposed to be a 1 hour movie too, or like a 1 hour series, which is supposed to be like the most animated, most like banger of.
Yeah, I was watching some of that the other day. I hadn't finished it yet, but I got through the one of my favorite parts was where he's standing in the snow and the dude's running back to him like he's fixing to attack him. He just bitch smacks him away, and then he turns around and looks at the empty field and goes, "You can come out of that now. I've known you've been there the whole time." And the elves are like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "Bro, no."
Just bodies him. And he gets bodied again. It definitely is something when you see somebody just like, what happened to him? Oh, that's what. Okay. And of course, you ever see that meme before? Like, I'm no afraid of no man, but him. I'm afraid of. That's what I feel like when I see that character. It's like he's definitely him. I definitely say that character is definitely him.
I was laughing my ass off when he come out of the portal and old line man dude reached over there and grabbed him and he just stopped and looked back at that bitch and was like, "Are you sure you want to do this? Are you real sure you want to grab me right now?"
Because taking me right now, like, not grabbing me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's really pretty great right now. There's a few right now that are not that great, and I read them in manga form, and they were like meh when I saw them in manga form, and now they're in anime form. I'm going, why? You ever see that stuff like that? It was decent, it was okay in a book, but then you're like, okay, let's make a show out of it. It's like,
yep.
You know,
yep.
No, I don't think I do need it. I don't think I need that. That's something I don't need right now. And I was like, there's like 2 or 3 of them. Like, this could just been okay as a manga. Oh, it was just okay. It was definitely not worth the effort to put in to make a TV show out of it. There's a lot of other ones out there that I would imagine is worth a lot more. Apparently there is this one manga, or let me see if I can bring it up. I don't know if I still have it. Apparently there was this one. Let me see. Do I have it on? This one? I'll just ask my wife because. Okay, so apparently there was this one manga that came out a couple years back, and it never finished. It got canceled.
The stream went blank.
It's probably because I did that. Don't know if that was the reason, but probably that. Did I fix it?
Now I'm waiting to see. Hang on. Still blank.
Still blank? Blank in my...
Yep, still blank. There it is. It's back.
Okay. Trudeau, what's the name of that TV that show that's coming out that was a canceled manga? Black Torch. Okay, Black Torch. Yeah. So it was a manga and never got finished. Never completed. It was, and apparently they're now making an anime out of a manga that was never completed, never finished, was canceled. And they're gonna be going from there, from the manga to where it ended, and then continue on with the story without the manga. How do you feel about them doing TV shows that are either not completed in the story, or they're just straight up skipping like any of the writing process and going straight to television?
Okay, so I feel like this. So when it comes to taking a show that never actually ended and doing it and then continuing afterwards, that is okay as long as they stay true to the original story. Like wherever it left off, they stay true to what had happened previously. Okay, right? So because that's what they would have had to do. That's what they would have had to do to finish the manga anyway, right?
Yeah.
So as long as they stay true, I'm okay with that. But now, if you're gonna follow something up to a point and then right after it cuts off because there's no ending, just change it dramatically, I'm not okay with that.
Yeah, because they did that with the Full Metal Alchemist, the first making of Full Metal Alchemist. Because at the time, the writer was not completed with the TV show. But the TV show was like, this is a banger. We want to keep on going. What can we do? And it's like, well, we could just make our own version of it. And a lot of people were very upset because that version was, in my opinion, it wasn't bad, right? And to my heart, I didn't think it was that bad, right? I didn't even know that was happening until later on. And then they made the season over again with the ending that the maker of the show originally intended for. And that one was still received. It was received good, but not like, it was not received like, oh my god, best ending ever. But then we have Attack on Titan, right? A lot of people in the manga was like, that is a weird, ununderstanding mungle of mesh of an ending. Like, it didn't make sense. But then they're like, okay, in the anime, we're gonna change it. We're gonna make it better. We're gonna make sense. And even then, it was still weird. Right? It was like, it was still...
Well, I mean, let's be honest. The thing about Attack on Titan is it was never really not weird.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was weird. It was weird from the get-go. I mean, there was backstory upon backstory that was missing through most of it that you didn't get until way later. So there was shit that you seen glimpses of people remembering or having experienced that you had no fucking clue how that fit the story.
Yeah.
Why that mattered. And then later you got that story and you're like, oh, so that shit way back there that's been bugging me, now I know what happened. Like, think about the basement. Like,
oh yeah, the basement.
For a while, you know that the basement's important. You know that he has the key. You know that he needs to get to the basement.
Yeah,
but you don't know for sure. You still don't know for sure why. You don't really know. You know his mom died. You know his dad died. You know the basement's important. He wasn't allowed down there while they were living, but now suddenly got to get to the basement. You're like, what the fuck is the deal with the basement? And they dragged that shit out for a while. You're like, can we just get to the fucking basement, please?
Yeah. And he's having a bunch of these flashbacks.
But the flashbacks are so fast and short that you don't really get a whole lot of information out of them. So you're still trying to like put the puzzle together.
Yeah.
You know.
My thoughts is just like, if the show was, if they thought it was such a good thing that they going, okay, this is a banger, we need to make a TV show out of this. So great. And if I was the maker of this said manga, right? And people read this manga and they're going, man, this is awesome. We need to make an anime out of this. This is gonna be a banger. We gotta make this like a thing. This is not like that easy drawing style that some manga and anime do. This is some like not Monster Hunter World, like Demon Souls and Bleach, and it's really great drawing. I've already seen the commercial for it, and they're going, okay, but like, as the author of this thing, I don't know if he's still alive or not, the person that made it, but it's like, you made me cancel my project, my manga. You made me stop it. And now you want to pick up as an anime and make it to something.
Oh, dude, I'm looking at some of the art now. This shit looks sick.
Yeah, it looks great now. Like the story, like my wife read some of the story, not story. Well, what do you call it? When it's like a shorthand of the story.
A synopsis.
Yeah, synopsis.
Synopsis.
It's like, okay, I've kind of heard that kind of before. Apparently, he's like an animal lover. He loves animals. One day he meets a cat, and then the cat gives him some things, but in doing so brings him into some ancient war between some powers and ninjas. I'm like, well, okay, but a cat brings him into a fantasy world of crisis and chaos. That sounds like a manga that I'm making. So I was like, but they're like, okay, and I saw the artwork. I'm like, that looks sick. I'm interested. But
I'll watch it.
Yeah,
I'll watch it.
Why would you cancel something like that though? Like if it's that good of a story, wouldn't you want to like continue that? I'm maybe just because I just don't look like I read a lot of manga, but my mangas are at times kind of like secluded to certain things that I don't really spend out that often unless it has some aspect of something else I like in it that I might dabble into it. Hell, I even saw there was an anime out right now apparently about a doctor detective. I'm like, man, that made me think of another story that I kind of came in my head. I'm like, I could totally see that being a possible thing, but like, there's like doctor detective in another world kind of like scenario. I'm like, I can totally see that. That sounds like a great story. I might check that out later. I'm just thinking in my head, like, you know, why would you cancel that and then want to make a TV show out of it?
I'm looking for the release date.
Supposed to be, as far as I can tell, this year. But I don't know. I just know if I was a writer of this story, I would be pissed. It's like, you motherfucker. I could have finished the story by now. Like,
yeah, this shit could have been complete.
Yeah, you better rehire that guy. That's all I know. Like the dude that wrote it and make it, you better hire him to complete the story. And then when you're drawing and making it, you better just let him just tell you how he wants it. You just have to. I just don't know how you would draw up something like, in movies, they make movies, they always have like a picture board, right? And on the picture board, they have like a bunch of crew drawings of like the scene and how they want the scene to look out and how they want the scene to act out, right? It's a storyboard telling kind of like theme. but it's very crude drawing.
Mm-hmm.
Would they have to do something like that for an anime or a manga to complete the story? Is that still a thing nowadays?
I think at this point, what they would do is, as long as they were sticking true to the original story and continuing it, by then the actors or voice actors or whatever should have kind of an idea of how the characters would react, how they would do stuff. So I think at that point you would give them a little liberty, and you would only really enforce stringent rules if you felt like it went outside the character.
Yeah, like you really have to have that sense of like, this is how the character is, how he thinks, and how he goes. Don't put yourself in it.
Think about it like this. The guy that voiced Ichigo, right?
Yeah.
How many fucking seasons did he voice him? I'm fairly sure by like season 4, they were like, fuck it, don't give him directions. Just tell him what the fuck the scene's about, let him do it. Because he already knows what the fucking what Ichigo's going to do or say or how he's going to act.
Yeah,
at a certain point, when you play a character long enough, they stop doing storyboards for you because by now you know the character. You are the character. The character is you, you know? Yeah. You can look at any TV series like shit. What was that show that I was looking at the other day? So they did like 15 seasons of X-Files, right?
Yeah.
I'm fairly sure by season 5 they stopped telling David Duchovny and Gillian what they needed, how they needed to act as Scully and Mulder. I'm fairly sure they were like, yeah, they fucking know. They already got this shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure somebody's done it before, but I wonder if any actors ever got to the point it's like, no, that character isn't. I'm not playing that character. I am that character. It's just like I am them. It is who I am. It's embodied in me so much.
It's been said a lot by a lot of actors that have played characters for very long running times, especially in like series, that over time, yeah, you stop playing a character. You just it's like having another personality. You know, you know that when you sit down to do this, that you're that person. You know, and you just cut it on and you just do it, and then you cut it off. Now, then you have some actors, the biggest struggle is being able to turn it off after.
Yeah, like Jim Carrey, he had a hard time with that with those characters. Turning him off.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, and I hate to say it, but that's kind of what got Heath Ledger when he played the Joker. He spent so much time learning that character, being in that character's head, that it was really hard for him to turn it off.
Yeah.
You know? And I really think that a lot of times the reason you hear the most about actors that play characters having negative impacts and roles, if you look back at it, it's usually a role that has something to do with some kind of psychotic shit or crazy shit or shit that gets in your head. I mean, the girl that was in The Exorcist, Linda Blair, I think is what her name was. She was fucking admitted to a psych ward after playing that part.
Yeah.
You know, it gets into you.
It's one of those kind of mentalities, and that's why some people say prisons are not that great. Is because you could be an innocent man, go to prison, be around those prison people, and you could become a bad person because it's the influence that's around you that you start to pick up naturally to not only to survive, but also to blend in. But it also becomes like it kind of takes over your psyche, where you get out of there and you actually become from which everybody said you were.
Let's think about it like this. Think about it like this. Let's say you were hired to play a fucking lunatic in a movie, a mass murderer, right?
Yeah.
Now imagine you spend 12 months, a full fucking year, being this person on set, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the only outlet you have for that person. And then the film shooting's over with, right? Off to production for film. But you've spent 12 months being this person. How the hell do you just turn it off? You know what I mean? I can see that could be a problem. Now, don't get me wrong. there's some people out there that do it fantastically, and they have that ability to just turn it on and off because they've practiced it, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think everybody in the world has the ability to just turn shit like that on and off. I think it can really mess with you if you don't have the right mental fortitude to handle it.
Yeah, I can totally see myself getting caught up in one of my characters, but I find it so much fun. But I'm not doing it for a job, and I'm not doing it 7 days a week, 5 days a week, whatever how many actors do it days a week, and playing it for hours.
We know you get caught up in your characters. Hell, I mean, half the time you swap to voices, I don't know, like a turtle in the middle of trying to be a fucking Cancun.
It's all of his abilities. The Cancun's can change your voices. It's all the excuses I get to myself. All right, so that would be it for today. D&D is to be here later on tonight. We're gonna have a slight delay because several of our crewmen are currently taking care of some issues before we go live. So once they are available, we'll be hitting the ground running. So I hope you're looking forward to that. I will have videos up as soon as my body and my mind is no longer fully clouded because COVID. I'm still dealing with COVID. What is it called?
Brain fog.
Well, it's not just brain fog, but it's like even though COVID's out of your body, the symptoms are still there and you're still feeling them, and they don't go away until like a couple of days later. That's what I'm currently dealing with, according to my wife. She says that
Post-COVID?
Yeah, maybe post-COVID. But it's still it's still there, just not affected, but it's affecting me. Brain! So, whenever it stops being that, I will do videos, but I'm just going to stream this week. I'm going to stream hopefully tomorrow, and then we're going to have a date night with my wife. We're doing the, get this, Corver, my wife bought a 1,000-piece puzzle of the Breath of the Wild map, and she was trying to put it together.
Nice.
Just the map. You know that big old brown thing? Just all brown is all I see.
Hey, I don't want to hear it. I have a puzzle like that is the map from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And I haven't put it together yet.
All you see is little tiny images, little tiny dots, little tiny things, and you're going, where the hell is this thing going? What is this?
Well, my problem is I would have put it together before now, but I know I'm not going to be able to finish it in one sitting.
Mm-hmm. Same.
And all I need is one of my animals or one of my children to knock that thing over and it break apart after I've spent hours working on it. I'll, like I said, anti-hero.
I'm sure you've seen people who took those Legos of like Death Stars or a Death Destroyer ship from Star Wars and like throw them and like all them scattered to a million pieces.
I'm telling you, that is an ass whooping right there. That is, I had an X-Wing and I had a different type of fighter that I put together out of Legos.
Yeah.
They fell off of the shelf due to a certain feline menace, and I was trying to get my hands on her, but her mother saved her. And now all the parts are currently hidden in the top of my oldest son's closet because I have still not had the heart to sit down and put it back together.
Yeah, I can imagine that. All right, so that'll be it for this week. What?
Nothing. You go ahead.
That's it for this podcast. We'll see y'all within the next hour and a half or so. But stay tuned. But as always, have a good day, have a good night, have a good life. Much love, y'all. Bye.
Bye.